Welcome to Sports Talk with King Vaughn. Today is Tuesday. Last night we had Monday Night Football. Let's talk about it. The Raiders and the Patriots played each other in Vegas, where it was probably the sloppiest Packers game I've watched in my whole entire life. Jordan Love threw three interceptions to the Raiders that haven't had a game with multi interceptions since 2018. That's 5 years since they've had a game with multiple interceptions in the same game. And they give up three? It's bad. I don't know what the Packers need to do. I just think they need to blow it up and tank this year, honestly. I don't see them competing with the Lions. And then you have the Cowboys that's going to get a wild card spot, Seattle that's going to get a wild card spot, and I think the Rams are better than them too. And I think the Saints and the Bucks are better than them. So there's there's five teams that are fighting for that wild card spot that are better than the Packers. At the trade deadline, I would just blow it up and try to land a Marvin Harrison Jr. because they need the receiver help bad, or they just need to learn how to communicate better. There were so many plays during the game that I saw that the receiver ran around and Jordan Love threw it the other direction, or it hitting them in the hands. You just can't have that happen. So Harrison Jr. should be their top try to get. I really believe they should try to tank. Okay, but let's talk about today. We have, or no, I'm sorry. Yesterday, we had two games of baseball. We had the Diamondbacks that beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers have just looked bad in the playoffs. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the youthful vigor of the Diamondbacks and how they just want to get past the ALDS for the first time in 20 years. After a playoff drought, you see teams make random runs like this. I can see a way that the Diamondbacks make it all the way to the World Series if they don't have to face the Braves. But speaking of the Braves, they did beat the Phillies today and tied the series 1-1. They didn't look good at the start of the game, but the Braves of old came back towards the end, and they went back to hitting the ball. I still trust the Braves to win the series, but they have to figure out how to start a game quicker than what they've been doing. If they keep starting all of these games that slow, there's no way they can win a World Series that way. Playing a team like the Diamondbacks or the Astros, the Rangers, even the Twins would eat them alive if they start every game as slow as they started these two games versus the Phillies. Okay, let's talk about the waiver wire for this week for football. Here's 5 names you should pick up. If you had AR-12, he will miss at least a month with his shoulder injury. So you need to pick up Minshew Mania now. Amari Carrado, the running back for the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona's offense relies a lot on the run. And with James Conner out for at least 1 week, picking him up this week, no, James Conner is out for multiple weeks. I can see a real way where he is a viable fantasy running back. The Cardinals run that often. Let's talk about Deontay Foreman. Deontay Foreman is a 1-week pickup. Herbert is out for this week only. Roschon Johnson is in concussion protocol. He's not playing this weekend. The only running back of any value is Deontay Foreman on this team. So this week, I can see D'Onta Foreman getting 25 to 30 carries in that game. But next week and the week coming back up, the Bears will go back to a running back by committee. So don't trust D'Onta Foreman for very long. Logan Thomas. If he's still a waiver, pick him up. He has implemented himself as a top tight end in the league. Don't let him slip anymore. And the other tight end that's probably available in your league is Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith is playing the same amount of snaps and has had 4 out of the 5 games this season over 10 fantasy points. He has been tearing it up. There's no reason why he should not be on a team. A tight end that's constantly getting you 10 points, it's pretty much a poor man's Kyle Pitts. But I'd rather have him than like Jake Ferguson or like Pat Freiermuth. I would rather have Jonnu Smith. I know it sounds crazy, but his fantasy points have just been better than all these people. Okay, what else is happening today? The start of hockey. It is Tuesday, finally. The first game of the day is at 4 o'clock, and it's the Preds versus the Lightnings. It's the Nashville Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightnings. I think the Nashville Predators are going to win this game because they have a top goaltender in the world. And the Lightning did have a top goaltender in the world before he got hurt right before the season. I just don't know how that team is going to look. Even though they're a stacked team, I just think their goaltending is not going to help on day one. The Blackhawks versus the Penguins. The Blackhawks have Connor Bedard, the number 1 overall draft pick of last year. He is like Victor Wembanyama of basketball, just in hockey, and 10 times better. He is the best player I've seen beside McDavid ever play, and he's only played preseason. He was 15 when he started playing professional hockey versus Gerdman, and tearing it up. He's a rookie, so he can still not do good, but I think he's gonna do good. But with that being said, the Chicago Blackhawks are still bad. I don't see a way that they win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. And the last game of the night is the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Seattle Kraken, where the Vegas Golden Knights will be raising their banner into the rafters for winning the Stanley Cup last season. And I think they're just going to beat the Kraken. They're at home. They're going to play Vegas-style hockey. Hit you in the mouth. Very physical, very slow. And I just don't think the Kraken have ever been good against Vegas. But it's hockey, so any team can win any day. All these teams will be upset so many times in the season, it's unreal. Thank you for watching Sports Talk with King Vaughn.